So today I'm going to show you a really awesome little utility that I've been using. It's called Easy2Boot. So what a lot of techs will do when they have to go into the field to fix something is they will carry a couple of utilities on some USB sticks with them, and then a laptop in case they need anything a little more obscure. So they're doing this because you can't have multiple bootable ISOs on a single USB stick. This is because it's a removable drive and not a fixed drive, and that's just not something you can't have two bootable partitions on that kind of drive. So how do you get around that, right? Because wouldn't it be nice to have everything on one drive? Well, you use a program called Easy2Boot. Go ahead and click the link in the description and navigate to the home page here. Scroll down a little bit and click download Easy2Boot. Then for some reason scroll down again and click download Easy2Boot again. And we're going to go ahead and click the recommended link right here. It's going to download, we're going to run it. When prompted, click run and OK the UAC. We're going to let it extract to its default location, which is our desktop. And when it's done, you can see it there up in the corner. We're going to get this GUI that shows up. So one of the issues that I had, this program didn't used to come with a GUI. It used to just be command line interface, and it worked great. And when I installed this program and tried to use the GUI, I would not detect my device, no matter what I did. And it wouldn't detect any one of my devices. So I'm going to be using the JetFlash Transcend there, and I think the reason that it's actually picking it up now is because I have already used the command line interface to set it up. So if you want to use the new GUI, go ahead. There's lots of videos. If you need a video, it seems to be pretty one button. I'm going to go and do it the old way. And so if it's not showing up for you, or if you can't use the GUI, this is how you're going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and open up that file. We're going to right click on make E2B USB drive, and we're going to run it as admin. When prompted the UAC, click OK. So there we see our drive that we're going to use, the JetFlash Transcend. So we are going, it's drive 5, we're going to select 5 and hit enter. So now it's telling us it's going to format, so delete all the partitions and all the data off that device. Are we absolutely sure that's the one we want? And you better be sure. So yes, then it's going to ask us what file system we want. We're going to be using NTFS. I suggest you use NTFS, and it says right there, if you want to boot from larger files over 4 GB limit, you have to use NTFS. So I just downloaded the latest copy of Windows 10 from official Microsoft, and it is 4.01 gigabytes, I believe. So you got to use NTFS. So hit N, and then you're going to get this final dialog here warning you this is the last chance. Click OK to erase all data, and you're going to hit OK. So now we're going to get a bunch of Windows dialog boxes probably popping up. They're going to ask us to, here they are, and we are just going to completely ignore them, okay? Windows is thinking some weird stuff is going on, and it's trying its best to handle it for us, but we're using another program here. So once it finishes formatting, it's going to create a couple partitions, and then it's going to copy the Easy2Boot files to the device. We can click OK and just sort of close these folders here. We don't care. Or Windows. Cool. So it's finished, and now what we're going to do is go through a little bit of setup, and it's going to create a config file here, which is going to help get the program sort of in the condition that we want it to, with some just default stuff out of the way. So we're just going to do default language, so 0, default keyboard, so 0. Now it says, do you want to show file name extensions? I want to see my file name extensions when I go through the menu to select the different bootable ISOs. It'll all become clear at the end of this video, I promise. Then it's going to say, so this is like an animated Easy2Boot icon that shows up on the menu page when you're selecting your different bootable ISOs. We're just going to go, I don't really want one, so no. And then it's asking permission to write the config file. Yes, sure. And we're going to leave this at the default value and hit enter. So green means go. Hit enter again. Great. So now we're going to navigate to your PC and you're going to select the Easy2Boot drive. Mine's mounted as G, but yours could be something else depending on your configuration. We're going to go ahead and open that up. And we got a lot of files here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up ISO and look at this folder structure here. So here we have utilities, memtest, Windows, all these different things, Linux. This is where we're going to house our different ISOs. So for example, in Windows, I can come over here and I can drop in, say, a Windows 10 ISO. And because this is USB 2.0, it's going to transfer very, very slowly and it's going to be a complete pain. Or maybe if I don't want to use some Windows ISOs, well then I have maybe some other bootable tools. So I can go back and I can open up my utilities folder and I can drop in some utilities like maybe Clonezilla or Derek's Boot Nuke if you're old school, or Gparted or anything like that, right? And then that'll load in here. So pretending that I'm not doing this on a USB 2 device, let's sort of take a look at something that I'm working on that I'm midway through. So they've got this cool little feature. Once you've got all your ISOs in that folder structure, you can come down here and you can do QMenu test. So we're going to right click on it and we're going to select run as admin, select yes on the UAC, and this is going to open up a little, I don't know what it is, it's a little emulator, it's a little boot emulator, and it's going to show us what the utility will look like when we boot from it. It's also much slower when it's running on your computer as opposed to real life. So we definitely don't have the full functionality here, but this is essentially what I have put together with some basic utilities just to play around with it and to test it out and starting to use it a little bit more seriously. So we've got lots of options. We've got our boot to Windows recovery. That's really great if that's going to work for us. We've got a password resetter. I've got all my Windows distributions, a bunch of utilities, some Linux distributions. So I'll just show you here. So I've got XP through Windows 10. And a couple different versions of different distros depending on what I'm working on. And yeah, so one thing I'd recommend if you're going to get Windows distros, just download them directly from Microsoft. Don't go and pirate something that Microsoft is going to give you for free. You don't know where the other stuff is coming from, and chances are the person that is going to have a Windows key that you can use. So don't go and use sketchy Windows software. Yeah, so basically that's it, and it's a really great program. Try booting up from it, just selecting it as the USB as a boot device and using it. You can load just about anything you want on there, and if you're smart and you go through and you read all the readmes, you'll figure out that it can do quite a bit more than what I'm showing you right now. But you're gonna have to go and explore and figure that out. But it's pretty robust of a tool. Like there's a lot you can do. Anyway, thanks very much. Have a great day.